Hi guys, welcome back to RRC. I recently got contacted by one of my subscribers who had purchased the Henglong Abrams M1A2 tank, and his tank had developed a wobble on the wheel, so he took it apart, and on doing so there is a spring in the suspension arm and also a little washer, and he wasn't aware of how that went back together, so he asked me if I could tell him, which I did, and I said I'd make a video. So this is a video on how to put back the wheel and the suspension arm on the Abrams M1A2 tank, and it applies really to the Leopard. They're all pretty much the same, unless you've got the all metal body one where they've got a different type of suspension. So here we go guys. I'm going to take the wheel off, but I'm also going to take another one off to give yourself some room either side, because it is a bit tricky, but it's not too bad. So let's get on with it. So to take them off, a pair of pincers, long nose pliers, or anything like that to grab hold of them. Take the hubcap off. You don't need to take the tracks off. So then remove the center screw, like so, and the whole wheel will lift off. Now in this wheel you have a bearing on the front, but nothing on the back, so it will just look like that. So there's the bearing in front. They have like two bearings inside this hub, so that's what you'll see. So just put that to one side, and we'll do so with the other one. Oops. So same thing, exactly the same. You've got the two bearings in there and your center screw, so not much to go wrong there. We'll put that to one side. So you will need an Allen key or a hex key to remove this arm. So when you take them off, just hold it firmly and then loosen the nut. So take the screw out. Now what's going to happen is, with the spring, it's going to spin round like so. So the torque of the spring is going to twist that. Once the load is off the spring, just lift it off. And what you see here is a hollow in the back where the spring, the long part of the spring, as you can see there, sits in this recess, and you have this peg. This peg is the travel limiter of the arm, so it'll sit in this little groove, and it'll only go so far up and come so far down. So that's when you take that arm off. So what you're left with is the spring with no load on, and you can just lift that out like so, and this is what the spring looks like up close. You see that, guys? So you have a little leg there, or peg, and then you have a longer one which obviously sits inside that swing arm. They look like that, like so. It'll go in there. Now you've also got a little washer that sits between the swing arm and the plastic body of the tank, which takes up a little bit of slack, but it also acts as some sort of anti-friction, so you haven't got the arm rubbing on the body of that and jamming up. So it gives it a little bit of space between the body and the arm. So what you'll also notice, and I don't think you can see it guys, I don't know if you can see in there, you'll see two little holes in there, and what that is to adjust the stiffness of your suspension. So the top one is what it comes as standard, which is for stiff suspension, but if you put it in the bottom hole, that'll give you a softer suspension. So it's really down to your choice really. So that's all there is to it when you take it off. So this spring pings out and the washer pings out. All you need to remember is that select the type of suspension you want, hard or soft, and then get your little washer. If you've got a magnetic screwdriver, you can just drop it in like so. And then make sure that's located in. You'll know because the spring won't just keep spinning around on you. So the tricky part comes is when you're trying to get it back on. So to do so, you're going to have to locate that spring inside there. Now, as I say, it is tricky, but it's not impossible. So if you pull your spring there, get your arm and lower that on so that the spring just slips in the underneath of the arm, and then hold it down with your finger, lift it up slightly, and then push it down so that that peg is locked in there, so it's actually stopping the arm moving. So with your other finger, hold that in place, get your screw, and don't over tighten these guys because it's going into plastic and it'll just strip the plastic. So get the screw and just nip it up hand tight, and that arm should move freely. But if it isn't, just back that screw off slightly and you'll find that the arm will just spring backwards and forwards with ease. If you think it's a little bit too slack, just nip it up a little bit more. But if it starts snagging, then just back it off. But you'll find once you get the right adjustment, it'll be fine. That one's actually sticking it a little bit, so I'll just back that off slightly. So it's doing that. And then all you do guys is just reverse the process, get your wheel and put it back on like so. Just drop it on the shaft there. Tighten it back up so it's all spinning freely. Same with the other. Like that. Get your hubcaps, push them on so they click, like so, and there you go guys. That is the how to put back the suspension swing arm on the Henglong Abrams tank, and it's pretty much the same as the Henglong Leopard. They're all the same, except as I say, with the more expensive version of these tanks, the all metal versions, they have torsion bars for the suspension which run through the chassis, but on these ones it's just swing arms with the springs. Okay guys, I hope that's helpful to you, and anyone who is trying to do a bit of maintenance on these tanks, and it helps them out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.